Remix dreams for such an important part of our lives then, but they still aren't fully understood. As a human being, you spend around a third of your life sleeping, and for about 6 years of that you'll be dreaming dreams for such an important part of our lives then, but they still aren't fully understood by science. When we wake up, we can at least assume the dream is over, though can't wait. This is Unveiled, and today we're answering the extraordinary question whether for living in a dream world are you a thing for facts. Are you constantly curious? Then why not subscribe to Unveiled for more clips like this one and ring the bell for more fascinating content. The question about the true nature of reality is one that philosophers and scientists have pondered for thousands of years. Is reality a stable and changing landscape, or is it different for each and every observer? And how do we know that what we think is real actually is real? Questions like these have then led to a number of different theories about reality, many of which we've covered in that nothing besides all of that can ever be proven to be real to warrant self. In the context of today's question, this could be seen as pitching reality in with dreams, arguing that both are similar, as both are creations of our own minds. In a looser sense, there is a little doubt that led all of us to create our own unique versions of reality, whether our friends and homes and cities and landscapes are the product of a souped-up tree or not. How we experience them is a completely personal matter. Our senses plus the biochemistry happening inside each of our own bodies is what guides how we think and feel. So from this perspective, everyone's reality is different to everyone else's. It's still quite a leap though from wondering if reality isn't simply like a dream to actually imagining that is one itself. One of the prominent starting points for this theory, the idea that this life really is just one big involuntary uncontrollable mental construction. Is there a seemingly shared inability to realize one word? Didn't realize when we're dreaming while asleep during a standard dream. More often than not, the fact that we are asleep is totally lost on us, despite all of the fantastical and sometimes impossible events that might be happening around us. This happens because when we sleep we aren't fully conscious, and some of our cognitive abilities, including memory, are significantly slow, which is part of the reason why we struggle to remember dreams at all. Then we're often unaware that we've just been in a dream until after we've woken up from it. Couldn't the same be true of the world we broken up into? Wouldn't we be just as oblivious right now if this video even was also part of a dream, to turn our standard dreams into dreams within a dream? And if we were to ever at our current level dream about dreaming about something, then we'd have a dream within a dream within a dream. And well, you get the point. Dream world advocates also highlight as potential evidence to the peculiar sensation we often feel in times of great fortune. Impossible feat can be easily accomplished, and people can appear and disappear just because. So if reality were also a dream, they shouldn't be filled with the same unpredictable quirkiness. Obviously, in real life, dream things don't usually happen. Mountains don't just turn into deserts in the blink of an eye. Nobody walks the walls, and you're not yet best friends with whoever your favorite celebrity is. But scale down the randomness and it actually is all around us at the quantum level. Particles have been shown to exist in Tuesday to wide, or to be in multiple places at the same time, or to be able to communicate with other particles instantly, even at great distances. If we think of life as some kind of dream sim, then it's with the quantum particles where the disorder lies. But put those particles all together and that disorder is headed by reality. Get up, you're safe and predictable again most of the time. So where do lucid dream mastered into all of this? Lucid dream is one in which the person dreaming it is aware that it's a dream. Other dream landscape in today's dream version of reality, then lucid dreamers would be all-powerful beings. Only they would know the true nature of reality, and they could even more than she does need to their own liking in standard reigning. While we are asleep, we know that the parts of the brain which deal with logic and rational thinking, including the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, are barely in use. So if this was also the case in a dream world, then lucid dreamers wouldn't even be limited by logic to the meat even the laws of nature would no longer apply. Suffice to say, nobody has yet. Temple would typically themselves as a lucid dreaming reality shift are quite like this, but if we were living in a dream world then such figures would exist. Finally though, if reality really is a dream, then whose dream is it? Is it yours, or are you just part someone else's? We might reasonably consider ourselves to be smart, intelligent and advanced creatures, but now we decant for just one part of either, around someone else's or something else. Dreamscape, we and everything we never know would be the figment of a superior brain somewhere else that's currently sleeping, and considering again that some parts of our brain is like those dealing with logic, language side and memory aren't even fully functioning when you dream. Whatever his rental of this app must have some serious imagination. Imagine our entire actual reality being the product of just one part performing brain, because that's what we're dealing with here. And if that brain is out of your brain, then how you are now represents only a fraction of your overall abilities in the real world. If it was somehow ideal, then that life worked in this way, the first priority for many would be to wake up from it. But how could we go about doing that? How the wake up would become the single biggest question in need of answering, as the quest to achieve transcendence will dominate our minds, but it might also never yield results. And in fact, for the illusion of life to shadow so dramatically for all of us, or for just one of us, that it could bring about some diet. And in fact, for the illusion of life to share so dramatically for all of us, or for just one of us, then it could bring about some dire consequences. So wildlife being a dream certainly makes for an interesting thought experiment. Perhaps this is one theory which shouldn't dramatically change everything, how we approach the everyday business of living. Yes, if it were ever proven to be correct, then you or whoever created you could be sleeping away their actual days in some other higher dimension, which is pretty mind-boggling to think about. But who's to say that their version of reality is the true one? Couldn't their existence, which in turn has created our existence, also be the dream of something else even more advanced? For some, the nature of reality is something that we might never be able to conclusively prove, but there are upsides to this particular version. One is that it figures that we'll one day wake up and be imbued with all the knowledge and understanding me. Another is that until then we do at least have the opportunity to think and feel and see and experience life as we know it. So let's make the most of it, because that's what would happen if we were living in a dream world. What do you think? Is there anything we must? Let us know in the comments. Check out these other clips for Monday Up, and make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for our latest content.